So anything can and will happen here. As a shot attempt goes back up, no good. Whistle, and they're going to turn it over and give it back to the Comets. New players coming in for Clayton, as now Washington and Hettinger will take a rest. Peyton Sharp will come in, as well as Alexa Watkins. Peyton Sharp, number 4, guard, number 11, guard shooting forward, 11, Alexa Watkins. Tucker goes back inside to McDougal. Still, and they crash with each other. Almost. Getting herself is Howard. Howard will find Unique Best off the rim. Watkins will come back with her own rebound for the Comets, and she'll try to keep it inbounds, but it's last touch by the Comets. It'll go out of play, and it'll be Wildcats basketball. 5-3. It's a 2-point lead now. The Wildcats have over Clayton. Coming back in play, it'll be the Comets ball. Turn it back over to the Wildcats, actually. Brewington turns it back over now to the Comets of Howard. Dariana Howard, jumper for 2 off the rim, no good. Hettinger, and they'll find there's a whistle and a foul, and they wrestle each other to the ground. Whistle foul coming up. It looks like it's going to be against number 23 for the Comets. That's her second foul. Second foul on Mackenzie Hettinger. Third team foul for the Comets. It's 3-1. Brewington sets it back inside, looking at the McDougal for the basket. Throws it away. Was McDougal, sophomore point guard. 4:44 remaining in the first. Make a wish. Oh, it's the day of Love Eve for everybody. Happy Valentine's Eve to everyone tuning in on the CRN Sports Network. We've got some great basketball coverage for you beginning here tonight with the high school finale in the regular season. A 3-point shot. Look at number 12. Number 20, that was Caitlin Tucker for 3. That's now 6 points for that young lady for the Wildcats. 8-3, Comets are down by 5. Travel against the Wildcats. It'll be Comets ball here. So for Laurelette Jefferson, the coach for the Wildcats, they're trying to pull the upset here on Marlon Lee and Adam Brent Bailey for the Comets. Clayton needs to do this. They got to do their job. They got to win here to stay in the number 1 seed of the Greater News 3A. And we also got to keep up with what's going on with Triple S and East Wake, because that's the battle for the number 1 spot and for the conference, for the regular season championship of the Greater News 3A. We got a whistle and a foul. And it's going to go against number 20. And that's her first foul. Foul on number 20 of Caitlin Tucker. That's the second team foul for the Wildcats. And this will be a non-shooting foul. Comets will bring it back inbound, led by Watkins. Watkins to Howard. Puts it up. Jumper, no good. Give it back to Watkins. Watkins powers her way to the basket. Last touch by a Wildcat player. So they go back to the Comets on the out-of-play possession. We'll go back to Clayton. Clayton. Shooting for a 3, that was Hettinger. No good. She gets her own rebound, though, was Watkins. Watkins will put it in. Basket in 1. No. Foul on number 11. Basket does not count. Basket on does not count. Foul on number 11, Alexa Watkins. That's junior. That's her first foul in the game. 4th team foul for the Comets. And it will turn the ball over back to Johnston. Tucker and Brewington fighting over the rock. Under pressure is the Comets player. She about lost it. Good save at midcourt by number 30, Chastity McDougal, to keep it from going out of play. McDougal goes back to Tucker. Back inside, still in a takeaway by Howard. Howard's there, powers away to the basket. No basket, and it's a foul on Howard. Offensive charge. Number 5, that's her first. That's the 5th team foul for the Comets. New players coming in. Delaney Eves and Kaija Washington. Alexa Watkins, Peyton Sharp, Dariana Howard still on the court. 3:23 remaining here in the opening period. Throwing it deep. It's going to be Mallory Nolan. Nolan goes back to Tucker. Tucker goes to the under the paint. Throwing it back down to Brewington. Looking back to McDougal. McDougal throwing in the three. A bomb off the brim by Nolan. Freshman three-point no good. And Grace Washington has a crash under the boards with McDougal. And they're going to call a turnover on Clayton and give it back to West Johnston. No, they're going to give it back to Clayton. Eves will put it back inbounds to Washington. Washington to Howard. And they're going to turn it over back and give it back to Clayton. Turnover, Clayton, West Johnston ball. 3 minutes remaining in the opening period. 8-3, a 5-point lead. Could have made it 8 points, but no good. But they get their own rebound. McDougal gets it back. Going through Tucker. Inside to Maldonado. Maldonado will call the whistle, and it's out of play. He'll give it back to the Wildcats. Last touch by Clayton. 8-3, a 5-point lead here at West Johnston here in Benson, North Carolina. Wildcats are up by 5. Looking back inside, number 20 of Tucker. Tucker goes back, bounces off the rim to Maldonado. Give the rebound back to the Comets. Back up court. Here comes Howard. Howard, top of the key to Sharp. Sharp for three off the rim, and it's no good. The rebound comes back to Clayton. It's going to be Watkins turning it back over to Howard. Howard powers her way under two-lady pressure to the basket, and she'll put it in, miss, and go. Watkins is there. They'll fight 2-3 ladies under the basket for the ball. Then they're going to call jump ball. No, they're going to say that the West Johnston coach called a timeout before they called for jump ball. A couple of referees called jump ball. One referee says they called timeout. West Johnston, full timeout, 8-3, 5-point lead. And the Wildcats are leading in the finale of the season, the regular season, for the Comets. This is Comets basketball on the CRN Sports Network.
Sportsmanship, it means a lot of things.
It means showing respect for the opposing team.
And being a good host for our visitors.
It's about modeling good behavior and not getting caught up in the emotion of the moment.
It's about winning with humility.
Losing with dignity.
It is about making my high school games.
It's a good memory that I can enjoy for years to come.
Mr. Official.
Mom.
Dad, son,
daughter, coach.
Are we in this together?
Sportsmanship.
Together, we make the right call.
This message has been brought to you by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
Back after radio timeout, 2 minutes remaining. Off the rim is Watkins. Watkins will go back to Washington, and they go for hot potato one more time for the basket. They got a whistle and a stoppage of play. Marlon Lee looks animated, throws his hands in the air, says, "What were you thinking?" Foul is going to be on number 30 of Ansley Stewart. Foul was on McDougal. That's her first foul. Congratulations to Everson Simmons as well. They locked up the Comets JV Boys Greater News 3A Conference Championship here tonight. So they're the conference champions JV in the Greater News 3A division this year. Dariana Howard to the basket. Can she put it in? She will. First points of the game for DH. Dariana Howard. 8-5 now. It's a 3-point lead for the Wildcats. Unique best on sub. She's about to come back in. Tucker under pressure back to McDougal. Powers it back to Tucker. Tucker to McDougal goes inside looking now for Maldonado. Maldonado goes back. Throwing it in. No good. Looking there, it was Lexi Lama. Turns it over. Comets ball. Threw it. Wow, but a wild pass. As Sharp threw it right in there to Howard. Under dangerous territory. Turns it over. Comets will. It'll go back to West Johnston. And we have under a minute of play remaining here in the first period. Hettinger's coming in on sub as Howard comes out. A 3-point lead after this week. The men and the women of the Comets prepare for the tournament play and the run for the state championship in the playoffs. 3A division. Tucker inside and a steal by Watkins for the Comets. They power their way back up court. Looking for Washington. Couldn't get there in time and throws it away. Threw the ball away. It's going to give the ball back to West Johnston. Sydney Holland will come in on sub. Here comes Anley Stewart, number 4. She'll be a sub coming in for the Comets. Number 30, wing freshman 5'6" player. And she'll come in. 8-5, a 3-point lead. Under Washington will come off court. Back up play. Brewington puts it back in bounds, led by now Lama. Lama goes back to Tucker. Tucker now finds her way looking for Blake. Blake now finds Brewington. Brewington off the rim for a shot at 3, no good. The rebound comes back up with an attempt by Blake. It's still off the rim. Comets back up court now as Watkins sends it to Hedinger. Back to Eves. 3-lady pressure and puts it in. 3 points now on Delaney Eves. 3 points for Delaney Eves in the game. The final 10 seconds of play in the opening period. Tucker for the Wildcats. Powers her way. 3 ladies and turns it over almost to Blake. Whistle and a foul. Foul on number 32, Delaney Eves. That will be her first. That's the team foul 6th for the Comets. This will bring number 20, point guard, senior Caitlin Tucker to the line. She will shoot 2. She'll nail her first. 7 points now for Caitlin Tucker. She's led the most points for the Wildcats so far. Second one is in and rims and goes. Final 5 seconds of play. Powering her way to the basket, Ansley Stewart. She'll throw the ball away. That's the horn, and that is the first period. 10-7. Comets down by 3. Second period, first half action coming up. This is Comets basketball on the CRN Sports Network after radio timeout.
Looking for a life insurance company that specializes in what you actually need? Protection. Call Danny today with Symmetry Financial. Danny is certified in all 50 states, which means Symmetry Financial is not limited and has over 30 companies to choose from. Symmetry Financial has proved time and time again that their options and pricing is just better than the rest. Give Danny a call today at 828-994-1681 to see how Symmetry Financial can make life simple.
Unforgettables. Nice. This show is sponsored by Unforgettables. Unforgettables creates detailed hand-painted baseballs for every baseball fan. Check them out at unforgettables.com.
Now back to live coverage on the CRN Sports Network.
Ready for the second period, about to begin here on the CRN Sports Network after our radio timeout. Coach is having a meeting of the minds. The Comets are down by 3 now, 10-7 here in Benson, the home of West Johnston. Let's look at the statistics for Clayton. They're 8-1 at home. They lost 1 game, and that was to Garner back in November. 8-2 on the road. Lost to Garner and Rocky Mount. 2-1 on neutral sites. They lost to East Wake. And for West Johnston, they're batting half and half at 5-5. 5 wins, 5 losses here. 3-8 on the road, 2-0 in neutral. They've won. Ball goes out of play. Bounces off the legs of Coach Marlon Lee. And they're going to give it back to the Wildcats. Wildcats ball, number 30, McDougal. Goes inside, back to Tucker, looking now for Maldonado. Maldonado there at Lama. Rebound, gives it back to Clayton. Kyasia Washington under pressure, and they're going to call a push. They're going to call it against Washington. Another offensive foul. That's her second foul. Kyasia Washington, senior, committed to JCC to go to nursing school after she graduates. Second foul, 17 foul in this first half of play for the Comets. And Unique Best powers her way back to the basket. She's under pressure. She'll put it in. They're going to call traveling against Unique Best. Give it back to West Johnston. 10-7 as Brewington puts it back in bounds to Tucker. Brewington back to Tucker. Send it up back now to Tucker. Tucker now throws it deep to Maldonado off the basket of McDougal, going for 3. Turns it over. Comets on the rebound. Delaney Eves will put it in for 2. That's now 5 points on Delaney Eves, the junior, number 32.